Okay, so we're going to do an office-based / working from home Pilates. So obviously in the last few months, most people have stopped working in an office and moved to their home offices / dining tables, whatever. So I can imagine there's probably a lot of not the most, should we say, posture best working conditions. So this is going to be a really good one, just to realign you, just to kind of work those key areas that can get a bit tight and tense from sitting too long, and particularly in not great positions or not great chairs. So it's a really good one to do at the beginning of the day, or at a lunch break, or lunch's break, or at the end of the day. It's just a quick 20-minute sessions that's going to focus on those kind of key areas like our neck, our shoulders, lower back, those areas that we kind of are in for long periods of time. So just come into a nice sitting position. If legs cross is uncomfortable, sit legs out straight. If it's even more comfortable, you can always sit on a cushion or on a chair. So relax the shoulders. I just want you to begin to turn the head, looking over one shoulder, looking over the other, nice and gently. And then this time I want you to do a semicircle down the bottom, and then the other way. So just keep going a couple of times. So often just check when you're working on a laptop or a screen at home that your head's not doing this, that you're not straining, that you should be able to hold an apple or something underneath your chin. So this time we're going to draw an upper circle, looking up towards the ceiling, drawing that semicircle on the top. And then coming back to the centre. So again, imagine you're holding that invisible apple, orange, Terry's chocolate orange, if you need a bit more motivation, just there. And then I want you to bring opposite arm across, and you're going to gently come round into a spine twist, twisting around, looking around behind you, mobilising our spine, and then swapping to the other side. And we're just going to do it a couple of times. And this one you could do at any point in the day, just loosen off, just give your spine a little bit of movement, because it's so still and rigid most of the time when we're sat working and really still. So you could do this just sat at your chair. And then coming back to the centre, bring the arms out in front, and you're going to begin to mobilise through the chest. So often hunched over, working on a mouse, we end up being quite rounded. So we're just going to gently from here, open out through the chest, feeling that nice stretch, and close, opening and closing. And then coming back to the centre. Bring the knees up in front of you, and I want you to hold either just in front of the knees or behind, wherever feels most comfortable. And you're just going to round the back, trying to get your head to touch your knees. You might be very far away, but that's okay. But that's the idea. Rounding the back so you feel a lovely stretch down the length of the spine and into the neck. Release, sitting up tall. And again, rounding the back, dropping the head. And releasing. One last time. Releasing. So continue to hold there, just step the feet away slightly. Similar, this time you're going to roll back, you're going to drop the head not as much, keeping that apple under your chin, rolling back, and then rising. So to start with, you can use the legs to help pull yourself up, and then we're going to begin to mobilise a bit more of our core. So rounding the back, rolling back. As you come up, I want you to lead with the chest. Imagine you've got a rope here, someone's pulling you up with the rope to the top. Rounding the back, leading to the top. Let's do one more, holding onto the legs. And I'm going to let go of the legs, rounding the back, roll up, stack the spine. And so this is a really good one to train your spine to be in a lovely, nice upright posture rather than slumped at a desk, rocking the pelvis to sit up nice and tall. So rounding, lead with the chest, stack the rest of the spine, sitting right on the edge of those sitting bones. You're really aware if you've got a bony bottom with this one. And this time I want you to hold, and we're going to stay here. If that feels too much, come back to sitting, otherwise hold, and you're going to begin to open from side to side. And then after your next one, we're going to open and we're going to hold. So it might feel, you might be able to feel it, switching on those abdominals, switching on those obliques, holding. You're going to do some little pulses to reach. 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side, open, hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. And release, coming up to the centre. Lengthen through the spine, have a little wiggle out. And then crossing the legs, or you're going to roll over your knees to bring yourself onto your hands and knees. So from here, coming into our cat-cow stretch, you get a nice on mobilising the spine. You get so many people with upper back problems, lower back, middle back problems, just anywhere in the spine can be a bit of a problem if we're sitting for any length of time. So from here into our cat and cow stretch, we're going to round the back, looking back towards the legs, stopping the head, curving the spine, looking straight ahead. Rounding the back and curving through the spine. So almost trying to draw your tummy button in. See if you can almost engage the core as you come into that rounded shape, and then relax. So if you can, take a breath in. Exhale, round the back. Almost trying to engage those deeper abdominals. Inhale, curve through the spine. Nice gentle tightening. And then coming back to the centre, we're going to find that in-between position, that nice middle point, so our back's nice and flat, thinking about keeping our neck in that neutral alignment. So we want to imagine we're balancing a drink, imagine your cup of coffee in the morning on the back of your neck, or a well-deserved glass of wine at the end of the day, whichever way you're doing it. So from here, I want you to reach out one leg behind, tap the toes under, and you're going to do some gentle pulses. So keeping the pelvis level, you're not letting the lower back collapse. Keep a tray of drinks resting on your back. You're going to begin to just pulse up and down. Firing up the hamstrings, firing up the lower back. Keep breathing, keep the weight evenly spread in the hands. If it's too much on the wrists, you could always come down to the forearms. On your next one, keep the leg lifted, everything in a nice straight line. You can point the toes if you want, or just relax the foot. Begin to draw some little circles. See if you can draw 10 circles one direction, 10 in the other. And although there's lots to think about and coordinate, try and breathe as well. Just nice and gently, swapping directions. And then relaxing. Other side, you're going to reach the leg away, tap the toes under, and then begin to pulse up and down. Keeping the back nice and level, try again. Remember this lower part of our back, keeping it nice and in neutral, as well as our neck. And on your next one, keep the leg lifted, relax the foot or point the toes, gently circle 10 one way and 10 the other. Child's pose. You can tap the fingers underneath if you want to, just give the wrists a nice stretch through and all down the forearms. And then just going back into that hands and knees position, just do a couple of shoulder rolls, loosening off, almost shrugging the shoulders up to the ears, sending them down your back and around. Shrugging the shoulders, loosening off the shoulder blades. Do those key areas that we can build up quite a lot of tension in, and build up quite a lot of just stiffness from just not working them enough, just build up stiffness from just being quite still and sedentary in those areas. And then relaxing, and you're going to take one arm, coming into a thread the needle, you're going to thread it underneath. You can soften this elbow, reach the arm under so you can look all the way along the arm, so you can get the head and the shoulder to rest out on the floor. Feeling a nice stretch across that shoulder. You can do the same on the other side. So thread the arm under, tucking it under, reach the arm away, looking underneath, over that arm. So again, either side, you can hold for as long as you want. And come back to the centre. So just tuck the toes under, and this time just lift the hips towards the ceiling, coming into a nice down dog shape, giving the backs of the legs a nice stretch through, pressing the heels down towards the floor for a nice calf stretch. You might not be able to get the heels down fully, that's okay. And if you want to, you can just begin to walk through the feet, alternately pressing through the heels. And then relaxing, soften the knees, bring yourself back to the floor, and this time you're going to position yourself all the way down on your mat. Bring the hands to form a bit of a head cushion underneath the forehead. And really important here, try and relax the legs. Again, with this session we're going to focus mainly on the upper body, and I want you to try and stay in what's called neutral spine here. So you'll often see this exercise, we're about to do this one, people doing in the gym, and you'll see often people get it quite wrong and they begin to lose that neutral spine. So have a look at the position of my spine as I come up, it gets very curved. If I'm trying to maintain neutral spine, I want to imagine I've got a grape or something underneath my tummy. So as I come up, I can't come up as high, but as soon as I do, you can see that collapsing of the lower back, that lack of control. So zipping up through those core muscles, feel as if you're tightening, got that internal corset of strength. And you're going to take a nice breath in. As you exhale, I want you to hover the arms and the head just almost 2 inches or so off the floor. Inhale to lower. Exhale, hover. Inhale, lower. So you'll notice such a big difference. Your grate may not be intact, it may have been turned into one, the more preferential choice. But imagine it's there and you'll be able to do it much more correctly. It will seem harder. So if you're doing it right, or if it feels hard, it's a good indication it's the right way around. Okay, so this time, turning it into our breaststroke exercise, we're going to hover, reach, circle the arms around, back to the centre. So see if you can do that 3 or 4 times without lowering. Try and keep your grate still intact. And then gently rest down. Relax. I'm going to do that again. So when you're ready, hover, reach, circle around, try and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Draw the arms up, reach, circle round, squeeze the shoulder blades back and down, back to the centre. So try and relax the legs, relax the bottom. We're isolating those upper back muscles. One more time, and relax. So hopefully you should be feeling that at the top part of your back. So this time just bring the arms alongside your body. You can rest your forehead down. If you want to get a cushion for underneath your forehead, you can. And from here, that last part of the exercise, we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades back and down and allow the head to hover. We're not lifting, There's a difference. We're just allowing the head to naturally come off as we work through the shoulder blades, squeezing them back and down, reaching the fingertips to the toes, relaxing. Try and keep the legs as still as you can. Drop the heels, that will help. Using your breath, take a breath in. As you exhale, come up. Inhale, relax. And using the exhale breath really helps you to strengthen and work those deeper core muscles without really being aware of it. And on your next one, I want you to hold, and we're going to do some little penguin pulses here. Keeping the shoulders back and down, opening. So you can turn the palms to face the sky, pulsing. So you should be feeling this a bit in your arms as well. And then palms to the floor, pulsing, working slightly different groups of muscles. And then relax that down. Oh, these arms should feel like they've had a little bit of work today. Tap the toes under, bring yourself back to your hands and knees for our last little tough, challenging core exercise. So from here, tap the toes under. If you find there's too much pressure going through the wrist with this one, you can do it from the forearms. Keep the shoulders back and down, neck in that nice neutral alignment. Try not to drop the head, try not to be lifting and straining either. You're going to take a nice breath in. As you exhale, you're going to gently hover the knees, just an inch or two off the floor. Inhale to lower. So almost the lower you get your knees, the harder you'll be working. If you're up here, it doesn't work the core as much. Hover the knees and lower. Have that big, powerful out-hale breath. Let's go a couple more of these. And on your next one, I want you to hold. So hover, holding, and if you want to, you can do a few little mini fairy marches with the feet, just lifting the feet, keeping the knees low, keeping your back nice and level. There's a lot of weight going through the arms, the legs are working hard. One more each side. Drop the knees. Sit back into child's pose. Reach the arms forward. You can tap the fingers underneath if you want to. Rest the head down. And then bring the hands behind you. See if you can interlock the fingers. Reach the arms away. Lift the arms a bit higher if you want to. Bring the arms back in front, and I want you to walk the hands around to one side, feeling a nice stretch down one side, one length of the body. Keep the head between the hands. And then walk the hands round to the other side, drop the head. And back to the centre, just slowly bring yourself around into sitting. Stretching one leg away, we're just going to stretch the hamstrings separately. So hamstrings are a kind of key predisposer to lower back pain, as well as glutes. So we're just going to finish with a hamstring stretch and glutes. So if you think when you're sat at a desk or dining table or just generally in a sitting position, your hamstrings or your knees are sort of at 90 degrees, or should be. And so therefore the hamstrings are working quite short. So we need to keep them nice and lengthened, nice and stretched out. So keeping one knee up, or sometimes it's a bit more comfortable to be out to the side. Lengthen the spine from here. You can use a scarf or a band if you've got one. Hinging forwards, reaching for the foot, the shin, the knee, wherever you can reach, and just holding. And then just crossing that leg over, pulling it over across your body, twist around behind you. Hopefully you'll feel a bit of a glute stretch. And then swap and the side with me, drop it, hinging forwards. Releasing, crossing that leg over and twisting yourself round. Coming back to the centre, relaxing the legs or bring them back, legs across. Just do a couple of shoulder rolls, again loosening off the shoulders. Taking the head gently, pulling it down to one side, feeling the stretch all down one length of the neck. And then the other side to finish. So we focused on all the kind of key areas, but legs are also key, and glutes. So really try and keep the hamstrings and the glute bottom nice and stretched, nice and flexible. So well done, have a good rest of your day work, or if you just finished your day of work, well done, you can rest easy now. Good work. Check out some of my other videos, the kind of stretch and release ones. The massage ball is a really good one for releasing any tension. And I look forward to seeing you again.